A crosswalk button that doesn't do anything, a detour that leads right back to where it started, and a fridge that won't let you access your own food. Welcome back to News Glitch. I'm Matthew, and this is episode 11 where real headlines prove the system is active but not always useful. Let's get straight into it. A town installed a crosswalk button that doesn't actually do anything. You can press it, but it's not connected to anything. In some areas, crosswalk buttons are either disconnected or automated, meaning pressing the button has no effect, but they're still there for people to use. That means you are pressing the button for absolutely no reason. So, just for a visual, you walk up to the crosswalk, you press the button, you wait, you feel like you did something, but you did nothing. Then nothing changed. The light was already going to change, or it wasn't. Like, you're pressing the button had nothing to do with it. I guess the button just makes you feel involved. This is the illusion of control. You think you made it happen, you didn't make anything happen. This is the most rage-baiting thing of all time. Like, you're spamming the button because you really, really need to go, but yet the light's still going to take 30 seconds. So spamming the button will just make you more mad. It won't ease anything. So the button is just a waste of money, honestly. And that's a different problem, that now the town is wasting money. You press it again just in case, now you're committed. Now you're part of the process. Now you just failed. But the process doesn't even know you exist. Like the button, it's just there, makes a sound, doesn't do anything. The system gave you a role, but no impact. And the article obviously reports it like it's normal. Button installed. No function, no explanation, just a button. If the button doesn't do anything, why is it there? That's what the headline should be. The headline should be that instead of just button installed, because a button was installed, but that button does absolutely nothing. All right, that's it for headline number 1. Let's get straight into headline number 2, because somehow it gets even less useful. So for headline number 2, it says, a detour sign redirected drivers and led them right back to where they started. The detour was the same road. So for some quick context, a temporary detour was set up due to road work, but instead of guiding drivers around the problem, it looped them back to the original road. That's not a detour. That's a circle. That's the opposite of a detour if it's taking you back to the same place. You follow the signs, you turn, you keep going, you trust the system, and then you recognize where you are, and yet again, the system failed you. You don't get lost. You were guided back to the same exact problem where you started. The signs were also probably so confident. They told you exactly where to go. They just didn't tell you it was absolutely pointless to go there. You made the turns, you followed the instructions, you did everything right, and yet nothing changed. That's the worst, when nothing changed. When you realize you're exactly back where you started, you probably just wasted 25 minutes of your time thinking and getting hyped up that you were finally going to be out of that traffic or be able to get out of whatever situation by taking that detour, and it just didn't happen. This is literally pointless movement without progress. You're doing something, but you're not going anywhere. And the article, it doesn't make sense. Like, why would you put this in an article? Drivers followed detour. No solution, no correction, just the same road. If the detour brings you back to where you started, it was never a detour. All right, that's it for headline number 2. Let's get straight into it with headline number 3, because the system is clearly committed to this. So for headline number 3, we have a smart fridge locked its owner out of their own food. It required verification. The fridge was connected to an app and required account access or confirmation to adjust settings or open certain features, and the owner couldn't get in. You bought the fridge, you own all the food, and it still said no. You own everything, and it still said no. You couldn't get access. So I'm imagining this. You're walking up to your fridge, you're hungry, you open it, and now you need permission? But I'm hungry. I'm not down to wait for permission now. That's not going to happen. This is where technology gets confusing. You don't control the device anymore. The device controls you. The fridge is making your decisions. It's deciding access. It's deciding timing. And you're just waiting. You're standing in your kitchen, in your house, in front of your fridge, and the fridge is saying, not right now. The fridge has full control over you. The fridge decides what you do. The title of this article does not help. Smart device requires verification. That makes it sound like an iPhone that has Face ID. That makes sense, because that needs a password. Because, like, if you have important stuff on there, it makes sense. Like, you would need a password, but to have a password on a fridge? Is an Apple that important? Let's be honest. It's probably not. So if your fridge can deny you, you don't own it. All right, that's it for headline number 3. Let's get straight into it with headline number 4, because somehow it'll even get less useful. Kinda crazy. So for headline number 4, we have an office installed motion sensor lights that turn off when people are still sitting. So if you're working, the lights shut off. That actually kills productivity and probably did the exact opposite of what the office wanted. So for some quick context, the lights were designed to save energy by detecting movement, but when employees sat at their desks for too long, the system assumed no one was there and turned the lights off. So let me get this straight. You are being penalized for doing your job. You're sitting at your desk, you're focused, you're working, and suddenly everything goes dark. The system decided. No movement, no person. Honestly, you know what would have been better? I'll give my advice here. I think you should have just got a timer, meaning like the lights go off from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. There's probably no one in the office from those hours, and you're still saving the same amount of energy because you need the lights on when the people are there. Also, so now you have to prove you exist. You wave your arms, you move around, you reactivate the room. You stop working just to turn the lights back on. That's the system helping, and that is exactly the problem. You are now wasting all this time, and honestly, it's chill because you're probably getting paid to waste the time. This is efficiency working against productivity. The system saved energy but lost the entire point. The title of this article is just crazy because it says lights installed. Lights were not just installed. There was a way deeper problem than these lights being installed because these lights were installed for no purpose. Like, there was no adjustment, no fix, just darkness. It was probably better to just not install the lights. If you have to move just to prove you exist, the system is confused. That's just news glitch. That's it for episode 11 of News Glitch. A crosswalk button that does nothing, a detour that goes nowhere, a fridge that needs permission, and lights that turn off when you're working. Real headlines, real systems, and somehow they're all active, just not useful. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the show and check out the clips. I'm Matthew, and I'll see you next time, assuming the system notices that I'm still here, which it probably will.